Hello, and welcome to another episode of War Thunder. Today I'm taking up the Typhoon Mk1, and we join in the middle of the battle, where I've climbed up to the side of the map. I'm at around 4,700 meters, and suddenly realised that only myself and one other person on my team are actually alive. The rest have all been shot down by the German team, of whom I think everybody is still left. So basically, myself and this other chap decide in chat that we are going to stay together and boom and zoom on them to try and take out as many as possible. I mean, let's be honest, us two versus the whole team, it's not very likely we're going to win, and I might as well tell you now that we don't. So yeah, we basically stick together and climb up, keeping an eye out for the enemy. Yes, now he spots somebody and then goes in for them, while I sort of provide top cover just to make sure. And Fucker Wolf 190, as you can see in the battle chat's just crashed, so that's one less at least. Yeah, so we stick together, because obviously, you know, we're both going opposite directions. We're both probably going to die quickly, since there are about sort of 9 or 10 German planes. So here's the German plane. He's in a P-51, he goes in to shoot. I stay above so I can dive in if he misses. He's going in. I'm not sure what the German plane's doing. I'm not sure if it's trying to go head on with him, or whether he's just trying to evade. I think he's just trying to evade. But yeah, my teammate managed to crit him, and I think about following him into the dive. I think better of it. Firstly, because he's already been critted, and also because I don't want to lose altitude and get separated from my teammate. So we climb back up again to carry on with our boom and doom tactic. And about this point, he spots 3 or 4 German planes to our left. So we turn to the right to try and gain a bit of distance. I'm basically just staying slightly above him and following him, because he was basically sort of coordinating the attack, so I was just basically doing what he was saying and following him, because I'm not particularly good when it comes to leadership and, you know, tactics. I mean, I know a few, but, you know, this guy knew what he was doing. So yeah, we head towards the enemies that he just spotted. They are all below us, thankfully, so we are able to boom and zoom on them. So we stay together again, and we both attack the same people just to make sure that we try and get them. So you can see there's an enemy that's down there. So I go into the dive. So I've had a frame rate, not entirely sure why somebody went so low. So I go into the dive, however he tries to turn underneath me, and I manage to get a couple of hits, but nothing serious, and I don't try and follow him into that dive, because I would probably die. So I climb back up again. My teammate is just behind me, I think. So we climb back up to have another pass at people. Just having a look around, trying to see any enemies. Just gaining a bit more altitude so I can dive on people again. So there's my teammate, about the same altitude behind me. He looks as though he's diving on somebody. Oh yeah, he's diving on that one. Right. So I turn in to help him. Yeah. Not particularly good turn rate on the Typhoon, but then, you know, it's not really meant to be. I think that was an enemy shooting at friendly, actually, because you can see some traces. However, I go after this person. Or is it that person? Oh no, it's the other chap who was shooting at him. So I go after him. I managed to get some nice hits, and I managed to take him out. So that's one down anyway. If I put that speed back into altitude, I turn around. Now I think my teammate is following somebody. Yes, there he is. Right, so he's trying to fire at him. He's not hitting him, that I can tell. So I climb up a bit, and then I turn around and dive on him. However, he is also turning, and I'm quite lucky actually there, because he was turning a bit quicker. I quite likely would have died there. So I'm rather lucky there. Now here, I managed to catch one unawares, and I managed to crit him. Don't manage to take him down, but I do manage to crit him. Now, however, we have lost our altitude, and they are now catching up with us. So I try and speed away from them. There's my friendly. However, I'm being chased by, I think it's a BF-109. So I just try and climb. Oh no, BF-109 is going the friendly P-51. And unfortunately sets him fire. So that's him gone. So now it's just me versus around 8 enemy planes. So yes, as you can imagine, I didn't really fancy my chances. I seemed to try and turn with a BF-109, not entirely sure what I was thinking of. I realised that I'm never going to win that turn fight, and so I decide it's just best to dive, pick up speed, and, well, I don't like to say I was running away, but I couldn't think of much else to do at the time. Basically, I was mainly trying to speed away so I could actually think of something else to do. And the BF-109, which I quitted earlier, has just been shot down, so there we go. That's my second kill. Unfortunately, that's all I get. But as you can see there, well, you might be able to see there are 3 dots behind me, so I've got at least 3 enemy planes chasing me. Basically, all I can really do is just run, because I cannot outturn them. They've got the altitude advantage. I try and gain a bit of altitude here, but I realised that by the time I got up to a decent altitude, I'd have lost a lot of speed. They would catch up with me and just shoot me down. So I decided to go back to ground level. At the time, I'm just thinking, well, I'm trying to think of what I can actually do. However, I unfortunately run out of space to run. I get to the edge of the map and have to turn back. So you might just be able to see there's at least 1 dot you can see there. There we Here we go, I'm turning back in again. Because I've got to get to the map. I honestly have no idea what to do. I just try some vaguely evasive manoeuvre, but I try and avoid that plane that comes in. So I'm trying to get away, but with 3 planes on me, I'm never going to be able to do it. I don't have enough speed to run away. I certainly can't turn fight them. And in the end, one of them gets a critical hit, and into the ground I go. So, unfortunately, we did lose. However, it just shows that if, you use teamwork, it can work to an extent. If there were less of them, say, at least half the amount there were, we may have had a chance. Unfortunately, however, there were just too many of them. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. This is Circus Locked, and I will see you all next time. Tally ho!